Now we are going to learn about measurement of basic quantities. In the before classes, we discussed the concept of physical quantities. Among the physical quantities, they are majorly classified into two types. One is the fundamental quantities and another is the derived quantities. Such type of quantities are called as physical quantities. By using of these things, now we are going to learn about the measurement of the basic quantities. Who are called the basic quantities? Simply we can call length, mass, time are the basic quantities. Not only these three things, but majorly, frequently we are calling these three things. What are they? They are known as length, mass and time. Here the question comes like this: what are the units of these things? Length is in meter, mass is in kilogram and time is in second. We will learn one by one now. First we are going to learn about the measurement of basic quantity. The first one is the length. What is the SI unit of length? They will ask. Here the SI unit of length is meter. I am already told length is in meter. So how we able to define the concept of length? See in the board, it is defined as the distance between any 2 points in space. In space means we can call vacuum, we can call free space, whatever it may be. So we are going to be measure the distance between any 2 points. How much amount of the distance covered by 2 points, it is known as length. So we conclude that the definition of length is the distance between any 2 points in space. Where are the places we are going to be measure such type of quantities? Look here. We can call larger objects as well as the smaller objects. Both the cases we have to measure the length. Suppose while considering the larger objects like galaxy, stars, sun, earth, moon, etc. Like that we are going to be measure the length of the galaxy, the length of the stars, length of the sun, length of the earth, length of the moon. Such type of things we have to measure means we have to call larger objects. We are going to be measure these types of objects means we have to call their distances constitute a macroism. What we have to call? Macroism. Because the size for these things are very larger. That's why we are going to be discussed under the concept of macroism. Suppose while using the objects like the molecules, atoms, proton, neutron, electron, bacteria, like that means their distances constitute microism. So microism is sense it having very smaller in size. So we conclude that which are the objects smaller in size, it comes under the concept of microism. Which are the objects larger in size, it comes under the concept of macroism. So we discuss macroism is nothing but we are going to be measure the distance of the larger objects. Otherwise, microism is the sense we are going to be measure the distance of the smaller objects. So among the concept of the length, it is classified into two categories. One is the macroism and another is the microism. Let me see one by one. First we are going to be deal measurement of small distances. I think you are very familiar to measure smaller distances because up to 10th standard level you heard about that word screw gauge and vernier caliper, is it? Of course. Screw gauge is used to measure accurately the dimensions up to a maximum of about 50 millimeter. I think you are heard that word, you are seen the structure of the screw cage. I think you are done the experiment by using of screw cage, because up to the 10th standard level you done an experiment by using of screw gauge to measure the thickness of the given a coin, thickness of a given wire, like that. That's why I am telling you are very familiar with this concept. So we conclude that screw gauge is an instrument used for measuring accurately the dimensions up to a maximum of about 50 millimeter. Here the question comes, what is mean by mm? Mm is nothing but millimeter. So this also one of the unit to measure smaller distances. So in the screw gauge, just imagine the instrument for the screw gauge. What are the two scales are present in the screw gauge? Just think it. One is the pitch scale and another is the head scale. What are they? One is the pitch scale and another is the head scale. In pitch scale, the readings are like 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. In head scale, the readings are 0, 5, 10, 15, up to 95 it will possess. So suppose we are going to be placing the two gaps between the two jaws. The two jaws is nothing but the gap on either side of the gap. The lengthy rod is present, no. The lengthy rod is nothing but two jaws. So which are the space provided by the two jaws, we are going to be measure a given instrument or a given wire or given coin. So by using of a given wire or a given coin, we are able to measure the distance of the smaller objects. We are able to measure the thickness of the smaller object, like that. In the screw gauge, the two scales are no. One is the pitch scale and another is the head scale. While merging, both are very accurately. Here the question comes, both are present very accurately means, what about the concept of errors? Am I right? Yes. It will proceed like, what is the principle based on the screw gauge? They will ask. Suppose we have to consider the principle of the screw gauge means it is able to magnification of the linear motion, because the moving nature is always in the linear path only. So we are able to magnify. Magnify is the sense we are going to be enlarge it. That's why I am telling the magnification of the linear motion. As well as the least count. What is nothing but least count? The least count is nothing but pitch of the screw divided by total number of divisions present in the head scale. Am I right? Is it? So the formula for calculating the least count is nothing but pitch of the screw divided by total number of divisions present in the head scale. Of course, the total number of divisions present in the head scale is 100. The pitch scale is 1. So while divide both the values, it becomes as 0.01 millimeter. So keep in mind, the least count of the screw gauge is 0.01 millimeter. And I am already told the errors will be present. Why the errors is present? Suppose pitch scale and the head scale both are coincidence with exactly, it leads nil error or no error or zero error. Suppose may not coincide exactly means it leads to the positive error, negative error. Positive error, negative error, nil error are the errors present in the screw gauge. You are very familiar in the before classes itself. That's why I am moving to the next category. Next is the vernier caliper. It's also you are in familiar because in the 9th syllabus it is present. So vernier caliper means, so already we have discussed the screw gauge. In the screw gauge, two scales are there. One is the pitch scale and another is the head scale. Here also two scales are arranged. One is the main scale reading and another is the vernier scale reading. Simply we can call VSR and MSR. VSR is nothing but vernier scale reading. MSR is nothing but main scale reading. So these two scales are once again present in the concept of vernier caliper. How we able to check it? So it is a versatile instrument for measuring the dimensions of an object. So in the concept of screw gauge, simply we can call, by using of the screw gauge, it is able to measure the thickness of the given objects. But here it is able to measure the length or the breadth of the given objects like that. Here also the least count is present. The value of least count is 0.1 millimeter. Simply we can call 0.01 centimeter also. So just keep in mind, vernier caliper, the least count of vernier caliper is in centimeter, the least count of screw gauge is in millimeter like that. Here also the three types of errors are present. They are known as positive, negative as well as no error. So exactly coincide with both the scales means it leads the no error or the nil error or the zero error like that. It is not coincide exactly. Such type of errors are called as positive and negative errors. By using an instrument to measure the length or the breadth of the given object means we have to use vernier caliper. To measure thickness of the object means we have to use screw gauge. So by using these two categories, by using these two instruments, we are measured the distances, the length, the breadth, the thickness of the small objects, at the small distances like that. Suppose while check it, measuring larger distances, larger objects, what will happen? Larger distances such as the height of a tree, distance of the moon or a planet from the earth, such type of things they are given to us means what to do. So where the methods we have to use for the purpose of measuring larger distances. So in this category we are introducing three methods. They are known as triangulation method, parallax method and radar method. What are they? One is the triangulation method, second is the parallax method and third is the radar method. Here we will see one by one. Suppose they will ask, you are look like you are going to see one of a tree. They will ask, what is the height of this tree? Such type of questions they will ask, what to do. So here we are doing one of the experiment. We are checking. Look here. So the distance of AB is nothing but the height of that tree. This is a tree. Let us consider this is a tree. And the base BC is here. And points A and C are connected by a solid line. It look like a triangle. Here ABC is a triangle. So we can call AB is equal to H. What is AB? This is the starting and the end point of a given tree. AB is the starting and the end point of a given tree. Simply we can call AB is equal to H. And C is the origin. And what is the angle making between ABC? Theta is the angle making between ABC. So theta is angle making between the given triangle. So C is the point of observation at the distances x from the point of B. So just keep in mind the Pythagoras theorem. So here we are considering the right angle triangle, no. So we are going to be calculate the length of the or the height of the tree. So just keep in mind AB is the opposite side in Pythagoras theorem. BC is the adjacent side. AC is the hypotenuse. We want the value of AB only. Here AB is the opposite side, no? We know the value for H. And BC is the adjacent, no? It's also know the value that is named as X. So, in our hand, two values are there. They are called opposite side as well as the adjacent side. So, it is the ratio of opposite by adjacent is nothing but tangent of the angle. What we have to call? Tangent of the angle. So, you are very familiar. According to the Pythagoras theorem, tan theta is equal to opposite side by adjacent side. Here AB is the opposite side. See here. BC is the adjacent side. See here. So, it is the ratio of AB by BC is nothing but tan theta. Instead of AB, we have to replace H. Instead of BC, we have to replace X. So, we can call tan theta is equal to H by X. From this relation, we want just height of a given tree. So, H is equal to the X is transferred or shifted to the left hand side, it becomes product formation. So, therefore, H is equal to X into tan theta. But we want the angle theta here. Suppose we are knowing the value of theta means we have to substitute here. For example, tan theta is equal to, so it make as the 45 degree angle means tan 45 become as 1. So, 1 into X, X only. So, H is equal to X, you can call. Like this, we have to keep in mind by using of the triangulation method, we are able to calculate height of a given tree. What is the formula we have to use? H is equal to X tan theta. Next, we are going to move parallax method. So, what is the meaning for the parallax? Parallax is nothing but is also called as the parallatic angle. Parallax means we are going to be committing a mistake between two different positions. What is the meaning for the committing a mistake? Just look here. We are having the two eyes. Both eyes are open. Suppose both eyes are open. We are seeing a object. While seeing a object with our two eyes, the position remains the same. Suppose one eye is closed, another eye is open. By using up only one opened eye, while seeing the given image, the position will be changing. How is it possible? So, that is known as the parallatic angle. We are committing a mistake. Within a second, we are able to changing the position of the given image. So, we have to rectify it by using this method. Look here, it is the name given to the apparent change. Apparent is the sense, it is not the actual. Apparent is the sense, it is not the actual. So, the name given to the apparent change in the position of the object with respect to the background. This is the most important thing. What is that? Apparent change in the position of an object with respect to the background from two different positions. That is why I am telling one eye is closed, another eye is open, or both eyes are open, like that. So, we conclude that. What is that? The apparent change in the position of an object with respect to the background from two different positions. Suppose O is an object, L is the left eye of ourself, or is the right eye of ourself. Suppose both eyes are open, we are look like this object. This is the exact position of the given object. Suppose the left eye is closed. By using right eye only, we are seeing this object. What will happen? The position maybe remains the same only. At the same time, the right eye is closed, left eye is open. The position of the object is changing due to the reason of the parallax method. due to the reason of the parallatic angle. That's why I am telling, by using of two different positions with respect to the background, we are able to changing the position of the object. So that position is called as the apparent change of given object. The x is the distance between the point O to L. Again, the same x is the distance between the point O to R only, but the distance of L to R is B. This is the left eye, this is the right eye. So, is also called as the arc length. We can call, in the before classes we have discussed solid angle, no. So, the supplementary quantities of solid angle, plane angle, like that. So, in that category we have discussed the plane angle. The formula for the plane angle is nothing but arc by radius. Look here, theta is equal to arc by radius. Arc is the from the point L to R. Radius is nothing but from the point O to L or O to R, whatever it may be. Look here, LOR is the parallax angle. So, LOR, make an angle theta. So, the length of LO, the length of RO will remain the same. Of course, LO is equal to X as well as RO also X. So, we conclude that LO is equal to RO equal to X. We have to apply the formula for the plane angle here. What is the formula? Plane angle theta is equal to arc by radius. What is the arc length here? From the point left to right, it is called as arc length. And from the point O to L, it is called as radius. Simply we can call arc is replaced by X, the arc is replaced by B, radius is replaced by X. So, theta is equal to B by X. From this formula, we are able to calculating the unknown value. Let me move to the next one. From this same category, another one format is there. What is that means? The distance of moon from the earth. So, from the moon and the earth having very larger distances, of course. In that category also, we are able to check it, the surface of the earth and the moon present in the sky itself. Look here, this diagram. Here, A, B is the two diagrammatic representation of the given surface of the earth. Here, AM is the one of the length, MB also another length. But AB is the two diagrammatic as well as the diametric opposition. Here A to C is the radius, C to B also radius. Double time of radius become as diameter. What is that? A to B is called as diameter, AC is radius, CB also radius. And this category we are considered the two sources, S1 and S2 are the two sources. What is the angle making between S1 A to M? It is known as theta 1. S2 B to M, it is known as theta 2. Look here, while calling the angle for AMB is nothing but theta 1 plus theta 2 equal to theta. Why? We are using S1 AM is theta 1, MB S2 is theta 2. While adding both the values, it must be equal to theta only. That's why I am telling theta is equal to AB by AM. So, AB is the opposite side, AM is the adjacent side. So, we know that AM is actually equal to MC. What is that? AM is actually equal to MC. It not exactly, but it's approximately. So, instead of AM, we can replace MC also. So, substitute instead of AM replaced by MC, theta is equal to AB by MC. Or we want from this MC equal to AB by theta. Just rearrange or interchange theta into MC. Here MC is the distance of the moon from the earth. MC is the distance of the moon from the earth. So, from this diagrammatic representation also, we are able to measure the distance of moon from the earth. And the last method is radar method. So I think you are heard about that word. Radar is acronym for radio detection and ranging. Radar, the abbreviation of radar, the acronym of radar is radio detection and ranging. What will happen in the radar method? It is also one of the electromagnetic wave. What is mean by electromagnetic wave? Somebody thinking? So we will see in the 12th syllabus. Here the radar wave is one of the electromagnetic wave. Why I am telling this is the electromagnetic wave means the electromagnetic waves are travel with the speed of light. So here the question comes like this. What is mean by speed of light? How much value is possessed by the speed of light? You are very well known. C is equal to 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Is it? Of course. So what will happen in the radar method means the radio waves are sent from the transmitter after reflection from the planet are detected by the receiver. So here we need two things. They are known as, see this diagram, antenna and the aeroplane. So antenna is the transmitting antenna as well as the detecting antenna. That means the receiving. So some of the places the antenna is act as a transmitter as well as the receiver. So simply we can call duplexer. What we have to call? Duplexer. Duplexer is nothing but, so only one object, it acting in the two way. So double acts, you know the meaning for double acting? Is it? Where the places we want the transmitting antenna, it will act. Where the places it will act as a receiving antenna, it will act. So that's why I am telling it is the double acting. Who is that? Antenna. And from the antenna, the signals are going to be sending to the aeroplane. So we have to call the transmitting antenna. After reaching the aeroplane, from the aeroplane, the signals are sending to the antenna. So this is nothing but receiving antenna. So the antenna is acts as the two-way communication. How much amount of the distance covered by the antenna and the aeroplane from the signals antenna? How much amount of the distance covered by the aeroplane and the antenna from the signals aeroplane? So the two distances are present here. So we know the formula for the speed of flight. Speed is nothing but distance by time, or simply we can call rate of change of displacement. So speed is in V, distance is in 2D. Why we are using 2D? That's why. What is the reason? From the antenna to the aeroplane, the distance is D. From the aeroplane to antenna, that distance also D. So double time of distance means we have to call 2D by T. So from this we want D only. So the distance D is equal to velocity into time divided by 2. So by using of this expression, we are able to measure the distances from the antenna and the aeroplane. So up to this, these three methods are used to measure the larger objects. Like, next we are going to move the mass of the body. You are well known this one also. What is the unit for the mass? The SI unit of mass is kilogram. That's why I am telling initially length is in meter, mass is in kilogram and time is in second. The time concept we will see later. Now the mass is in kilogram. How we are able to define it? It is defined as the quantity of matter contained in a body. How much quantity of matter contained in a body is nothing but mass. So from this category, we are going to measure the mass of the smaller objects, mass of the larger objects also. For example, we are using the mass of the electron. What is the mass of the electron? 9.11 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kilogram. I think you are seen in the 10th standard level itself. Suppose while measuring the larger object means, let us consider the universe. The value of universe, the mass of the universe is about 10 to the power of 55 kg, 10 to the power of 55. What is the meaning for 10 power 55? 55 times 10 will become like that. And last thing is time quantity. I am already told what is the unit for the time. The SI unit of time is second. That's why I am telling length is in meter, mass is in kilogram, time is in second. Just keep in mind always.